Hello friends, I am trying again. Not sure what happened. So, welcome friends and fellow freedom fans. My name is Emily Wood. I'm one of the administrators for the Libertarian Slut website. My bathtub is still filling, as you can probably hear. And I am here today to spread the message of liberty. I would like to invite you to ask your questions. I'm relatively new to politics. Well, good evening, John Glass, but I will try my best. Hello. Thank you all for joining us. I'm glad to see more and more people logging in. So, does anyone have any questions for me? What got me involved in politics in the first place, I've always cared about doing what's right and standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. But as far as political involvement, I didn't start that until, maybe March. Thanks to Penn and Teller, my very favorite libertarians, alive today, I should say. I learned that they were libertarians. I loved what they did, and I looked more into it. And from there, I realized that I really digged it. I went to my county's meeting, the Warren County, Ohio Libertarian Party. Here's looking at you guys. Oh, I got an angry face already. So, I went to that meeting and fell in love. I said, hey, let me help, and they took it and ran with it. So now I'm actually a Southwest Regional liaison for the state of Ohio, and I was fortunate enough to be able to go to our national convention in Orlando this year, and I fell in love, and it was all she wrote. So let me see, I already have questions coming up. Jefferson versus Hamilton. I don't know much about Jefferson versus Hamilton except for one was a Federalist and one was not. Obviously Jefferson was the Anti-Federalist and Hamilton was. Hamilton was the reason that we have banks, I'll say. And it's not that I'm necessarily anti-bank, but look at the state that we're in. And I can't say I'm entirely anti-federalism. My bathtub is incredibly hot right now. So, Jefferson versus Hamilton, that's really all I can say. Jefferson's badass. He's my favorite libertarian. Hamilton, meh. Aaron Burr, killing him. It was a long time ago. Don't care. What opinion on Johnson and his VP with totally opposite gun views? Unfortunately, my notes fell. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to discuss the Johnson-Weld campaign tonight. You'll just have to do without my opinions on that. Didn't one of them get attacked by a tiger? No. I believe that question is in reference to Penn and Teller, and that was Siegfried and Roy that got attacked by a tiger. Let's see. What are my thoughts on Gary Johnson's carbon tax proposal? Again, I cannot answer that. In fact, well, no, I'm not even going to go there. Go Buckeyes. Woo! OHIO. What does being a Southwest Regional Director entail? Fortunately, I don't know. I'm supposed to reach out to people who have questions about the Libertarian Party, and the reason I say I don't know is because I'm fortunate enough to work with Andrea Byron, a good friend of mine. We're actually co-liaisons, which I personally find ironic for minimal government. I'm fussing with my phone because my arms are getting tired already. Let's see. What about the roads? My roads! Privatize the fucking roads, guys. Hello, Miss Emily. Do I think Gary Johnson will be a good president for all of us? that I'm comfortable answering, yes. I do think he'll be a great president for all of us. Sarah Daggers, the angry face was an accident. Get your shit together, Sarah. Down with the Federal Reserve. Fuck yes. Goodbye. They're crooks. Rothbard versus Friedman. Again, I haven't picked up a philosophy book in a while. I can't answer that, unfortunately. Wish I could. I will do so. Aren't they the same guys? I don't know. I love Jefferson too. Go lower. I don't think Facebook's rules would appreciate me going lower. I'll go a little bit lower. That's all I can do, men. Or ladies, what the hell? Why am I in the tub? Bo Blanchard, that's an excellent question. I am in the tub because I fucking can be. There's a double standard of what's acceptable for women in politics, or women in general. We, for some reason, can't be viewed sexually and intelligently at the same time. And quite frankly, I think intelligent ladies are better in bed than non-intelligent ladies. Now, that being said, I haven't slept with any non-intelligent ladies. So, someone prove me wrong. But the whole point of this is cleaning up dirty politics. It's a marketing ploy. It's one I find quite fun. And hopefully we can knock down a few stereotypes on our way as far as being sexy and intelligent at the same time. What is my favorite method of outreach? My favorite method of outreach might be an initiative that I'm trying to get going that some reason isn't getting going. Blowjobs for Liberty. Oh, you can see I have a candle back there. I totally spilled wax on myself earlier. It's kind of sexy, you know? Anyway, I totally lost track because I was thinking of sex and dripping hot wax on myself. So, I'm moving on. Is my hair far away? Thank you for your concern. Is it far away enough from the candle? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you for your concern. That was kind. Shout out from Washington County, Ohio. I have no idea where that is. Sorry. I love that Sarah Daggers as well. Carbon tax. I don't think there's enough. Oh, that's a slippery slope. I'm not a scientist. I don't have enough research on that. I am not entirely comfortable answering more about that, so I'm moving on. Kim says, love me a lady who curses sisters in saltiness. Just wait until I call Hillary Clinton a cunt. Oops, just did. Do you not pick up philosophy books because you live philosophy? I discovered that to be the case for me. Well, even if I live philosophy, and it's great to think. Please think more and question as much as you possibly can. Read a book, though. The same goes for me. I need to read more. Who doesn't? I need to sometimes turn off that television. Matubs equals freedom, agreed. Bet if roads built and maintained by private companies, there wouldn't be one guy working and 10 taking a nap in the shade, taking 8 months to finish less than a mile. Excellent point. That's very true. The private market, or private sector rather, would do a good job of being competitive. Do I think Facebook lost my train of thought? How about a tangible goal like secession? Ooh, that's a slippery slope. We've tried it before. And times were different then. Too many people were not viewed as people at the time. No, that didn't really have anything to do with why they were trying to secede. Though it may have been a poster child for their cause, or against their cause. Secession, I have a lot of family in Texas, and they're the ones who are most vociferous about seceding. I have said that if they do secede, I will move to Texas. The stars at night are shining bright, I believe. Let's see. Let's see. I think toll roads are just another form of private government taxation. Okay, I see where you're coming from, but in a free market, if you didn't want to use the toll roads, you'd find a different way, and I would encourage you to do so. Don't pay something you don't want to pay. Let's see, also pillow talk with intelligent ladies. Yes, and BJ's for liberty, blowjobs for liberty. Ladies, get your shit together. Blowjobs are very fun. And if you can do so in the name of liberty, please do. Make others happy. Spread that happiness. What's my stance on the Second Amendment? It's there for a reason. It is our natural right to be able to protect ourselves. In fact, I believe we need to be able to have access to the weapons that are deemed demilitarized, or for military only. I'm getting notifications on my phone. I forgot to turn them off. I am a big proponent of the Second Amendment. Fire safety. Oh, I'm so glad y'all are caring about me, or at least not letting me get caught on fire. If the government issues tolls, and oh yes, thank you, Kimberly, for your wonderful answer. Adam Kokesh, yes or no? I don't know. I hate to say I'm very busy and I can't follow everything. And again, I'm still new to politics, and that's, I think, part of my problem is that I don't have time. Have you been following the outcry over the Pledge of Allegiance opt out from that one school sent home? Yes, I have. And when I was a freshman in high school, I, on my own, decided to stop saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Not because I dislike my country. In fact, nationalism aside, I'm very proud to be an American. I am one of the luckiest women in the world to have been born in America. And it was luck. I need more bubbles, guys. They're dying down. Not that you can necessarily see. But anyway. Well, now my hand's wet. Okay. I need to stop losing my train of thought. It's past my bedtime, guys. I go to bed at like 10. And it's midnight for me. So, Pledge of Allegiance in schools. It is in my opinion, a gross form of propaganda. No, I don't think our schools should be requiring our children to say the pledge. And fuck, if you want to say it, fucking say it on your own. Before you leave your house in the morning, I don't care. But don't make me. Let's get crazy. Tell us my ideal foreign policy. Let's get crazy. I don't know enough about foreign policy. Live and let live, I say. Unless, you're trying to attack us, then fuck you, back off. Blunts or spliffs? I don't know enough to know the difference. Pan down. Oh, I panned a little down too far. Whoops. Good thing I have a pasties on. My boss is going to be watching this tomorrow morning. Were drugs discussed in Orlando / vaccines? Yes, they were. Maybe another Free State Project. Oh, I would love another Free State Project. As far as the Orlando vaccines, drugs in Orlando, I don't know. Other than they were certainly being enjoyed in Orlando. Vaccines. Fucking vaccinate your children. I understand that the idea of mandatory vaccination to many, mandatory anything, is appalling. However, I draw the line in saying that mandatory vaccinations is against the NAP. If your child gets sick and then gets another child sick because you deliberately chose not to have your child vaccinated, you have violated the NAP. For example, my big brother, was not able to receive one of his vaccinations because he was allergic to it. It was a several stage vaccination back in the 80s. I don't even know enough. But he was unable to receive that vaccination, and there's a term that I just learned tonight, and I hope I don't get it wrong. Something to do with herd. Shit, I've forgotten it. It's too late. Herd safety. I don't know. I don't really like referring to humans as herds. Let's see. I'm gonna move on. Rather eat than get a BJ. Hey, that's my kind of guy. Up and down in Morse code is spelling out taxation is theft. That I actually, on my notes, I wrote taxation is theft, blowjobs for liberty, and the importance of learning the Declaration of Independence for sexual gratification. Do it. And have fun with your tongue. And lips. And fingers. And let's see. I have a trendy idea about free markets, but no real comment on true personal freedom. Well, come on, guys. I'm in a bathtub and it's after midnight. Cut me some slack. You don't know me? Shit. All right. Yes, I can absolutely love my country without loving my government. Thank you very much, Kim Ruff. And that being said, I am a minarchist, not an anarchist. It's not to say I don't love my fellow anarchists, or not fellow, but, fellow libertarians who are on the side of anarchy. Under God doesn't belong in the pledge. I agree with you, Kevin. And it was added in the 1950s. Let's see, show us the bubbles again, please. I'm going to cover up a bit. There you are. What is a libertarian solution to the EpiPen debacle? Free markets! Free markets. Get the government out of medicine, out of insurance. And fuck insurance, too, by the way. It's a goddamn racket, and we've let it grab a hold of us and really strangle us to death. What do you think of firefighters letting a house burn down because the residents didn't pay a $75 government fee? I would hope that if a firefighter saw a house burning down, but the household members did not pay their fee, I would hope that a caring citizen would say, hey, guys, I will pay for this service because their fucking house is burning down. And someone would do the right thing. Now, unfortunately, this is the real world, and obviously it appears because you linked to a news site that happened in real life. That's very unfortunate. My heart goes out to that family. If you don't want... okay, I almost said something bad. Pay for protection if you want protection. Oh, Kim, I love you. Thank you for taking time to do this. You are welcome, Jordan. Taxation is theft. I agree. Taxation is theft, ladies and gentlemen. 10 to 20 mass shootings for previous 5 presidents, but 165 under Obama. All I can say is please don't believe everything that your media tells you. I don't know the facts, and I can bet that you don't either. I have no idea how many mass shootings have happened, but my understanding is that they happen in gun-free zones, statistically more often than not. Herd immunity, thank you. Going back to my previous gaffe. What about vaccinations for diseases that aren't airborne communicable? Is that really what people were talking about? Really? How many kids are vaccinated for HPV nowadays? How's an unvaccinated child gonna get a vaccinated child sick? Because there are different strains, I guess. I'm not a fucking doctor. But that's a good question. How do I feel about public education versus homeschooling? Public education, it's a cool thing. I think it's awesome that people want to provide their children with education. However, not on my dime. I'm a daughter of a teacher, and she disagrees with me on that. I love teachers. I have the utmost respect for them, and it's not about them. And it's not about educating children. Truly, there are free ways of educating your children that are far greater than public education. Try your local library. Homeschooling, that's also a dangerous slope. Many children stay at home without parent supervision because the parents are irresponsible, neglectful. So they really miss out. So educate your children because it's good for them, not because it's good for our GDP. How about that? What calling a convention of the states to amend the Constitution to put isn't making sense to me right now. Arizona or Arkansas? I don't know. I love you too, Desiree. Stance on legalization of marijuana. For the love of God, just fucking legalize it already, guys. It's not the harmful thing that is made out to be. Okay. I'm getting a lot of sad faces. Okay. I love all this discussion. In a true free market, would cronies exist? Well, of course, but a true free market would deal with it. There's that you have the choice in a free market. How do I feel about wearing paisley covers? I couldn't find any. I don't necessarily like paisley. I agree. Rogue Eagle says slippery slope in regards to vaccinations. Where do you draw the line on required vaccination? Who gets to decide? That's something that I think about often because I'm not a medical professional. I don't know enough. And quite honestly, a lot of medical professionals are just regular people. What do they call a doctor who graduates last in his class? They still call him doctor, or her. So unfortunately, peer-reviewed studies have gone through that make false claims. So I agree it's a slippery slope. I think it needs more introspection before a decision is made. I want to speak upon the campaign, but I cannot. Fellatio for freedom. Yes. Semantics time. John Glass, semantics time. How do we reconcile lower or no taxes with a strong national defense? That is where voluntary taxation comes in. Why all these sad faces? I'm very confused. If you want national defense, pay for it. That's an argument that I believe Jefferson and Hamilton had with the Federalists versus non-Federalists. And I believe the Federalists won. And for right now, because I am not I'm not a historian by trade. I'm going to trust the fact that the Federalists won. That's all I can do for right now. Especially given that it's after fucking midnight and I'm exhausted. I agree. Be involved in your child's education regardless of where they're educated. Sean Vespoli. Thank you. And Puff Puff Pass to you too, sir. Yes, okay. What a fun way to talk politics. I agree. Plus, my skin is silky smooth at the moment. Cleavage. In a true free market, anarchy rules. I believe that's arguing semantics. Because there's a difference between minarchy and anarchy. Can you tell the people what it takes to change an amendment? Right now, it takes money. And knowing the right people. I wish I knew more. However, I don't. National debt, 20 trillion. Yes, the national debt is 20 trillion. We're on a slippery slope to financial ruin. We're in another bubble as far as the stock market is concerned. What can we do about it? Make sure you have food in your closets. And guns. Buy gold. Listen to Ron Paul. He knows a lot more than I do on this. How many of those former presidents sold guns to cartels and terrorists too? Hey, valid point. Oh. I see. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Gary Johnson. Holy shit! My candle just fell. And it's out, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on one second. Technical difficulties. Alright. Alright, anyway. I'm covered in wax. Those tan lines are the result of global warming and could have been prevented by government-regulated sunscreen. Yes, they could have. Okay. Rob, that was really cute. Okay. Protect me if I ask, not because you believe that I need it. Fair point. That's a slippery slope. Okay, ideally, you wouldn't need protection unless you asked for it. But come on now, you can't always foresee when you'll need protection. Thanks, John Glass. Y'all are so sweet. Government-controlled education is indoctrination that is an excuse to extort tax money from us. In the 1800s, children were educated in private one-room schools far better than they are today. Well, how do you know that they were educated far better than today? I'm going to argue that point. Now, I mean, I agree where you're coming from. Pay for public schools if you choose to. If you don't, then don't. It's your life, it's your children's lives. Again, my mother's, who was a teacher, is going to not be happy with that statement, but as far as, yeah, I actually did look into compulsory education, and I'm on the fence about it, truthfully. Education is a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who's paying for it, that's a different question, and should we force people to pay for it? It requires more introspection and thought, and I always encourage growth in opinions. Do you believe the 16th Amendment was legally ratified? Oh, I don't know enough about history to know. Sorry, I can't answer. Have the Clinton Foundation pay the national debt off. Yes. Oh, have I mentioned that I think Hillary Clinton is a lying cunt? Nice. People are so nice. Thank you. I know it is getting hot in here. I was worried that I'd be in here so long that my bathwater would get cold, so I made it like unbearably hot, and then I'm all fucking sweaty. How can we make it legal to hang low? Shit. Ooh. Nicholas Scott. What the fuck, dude? Are you joking? How can we make it legal to hang leftists in public after a fair trial, of course? Woof. Yikes, dude. No. The whole... I agree that extremists are very annoying. Hanging people for being Democrats? Yikes. I can't even entertain that. I am done with that. Am I into hot wax? Jimmy Jessen, am I into hot wax? Challenge 911. Call 911. Call 9... Oh, thanks, Katie. I think I got that. Okay, do I listen to InfoWars? I don't have time. I have a day job. Actually, I have several day jobs. I don't have time. She's totally into hot wax. All right. Bake the cake for Harambe. Now, I'm actually from the Cincinnati area. I saw Harambe in person. He was a lovely creature. It's hard to speak with any authority when I'm not an expert in these areas. I'm just a person with opinions. But I know that the Cincinnati Zoo has requested for the memes and such about Harambe to stop. I, for one, respect them and their needs and their choices. They knew him and loved him more than any of us could have. So, leave Harambe alone and bake the cake. That's another slippery slope. I can't speak on it too much because I know it's in reference to Gary Johnson and I can't speak about his campaign tonight. Great person. Oh, thanks. Tan lines are only prevented by choice. Amen. I don't have time for sunscreen. Am I soaking my hemorrhoids? That's class right there, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at the tests from back. Oh, yep, agreed. Bobby, everyone has hemorrhoids, you dolt. Actually, I don't think everyone does. If you think everyone has hemorrhoids, talk to a doctor. Y'all are funny. Okay, just gonna say it. Oh, thanks, Daniel Kelly. Anarcho-fascism is superior. What? Anyone who supports a law violating freedom should be put in jail. All right, I agree to an extent. Violating another person's rights to life, liberty, property, and the pursuit of happiness, that is something which I think we need to protect. Against, rather. Oh, woof. It's 12:35. I'm tired. But Hillary can never lie. She's a politician. Fair enough. Have I mentioned she's a cunt? Hillary Clinton is a cunt. A filthy cunt who does not represent me or the majority of women. I said after a fair trial, but Nicholas Scott, this is in regards to hanging leftists in public after a fair trial. A fair trial for what? For having a different opinion than you? NAP at all, bro? Exactly. Do you even NAP, bro? Thoughts on GJ? Sean Elliott, I cannot share my thoughts on GJ tonight. James Harris, I'm totally into hot wax, dude. Considering what happened in Milwaukee, what will we do when it happens again? James Hogue, that's fine. No apologies necessary. My heart goes out to anyone who is suffering a loss, who is feeling that pain, who is feeling and or being persecuted. Especially if it's upon little else other than race. We have several problems here in America, racism being one of them, and the militarization of our police force and the unfortunate fear of our police force. I am not against police. I support them. I have a lot of friends who are policemen. I also have a lot of friends of different backgrounds, races and creeds and colors. I give zero shits about what you look like, or if you're, I don't know. Bottom line is, guys, we're all in this together. Love one another. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you want peace, behave peacefully. If you want respect and tolerance, behave with respect and tolerance. It isn't as hard as you might believe. It is hard to take a step back sometimes and question your own thoughts, but it's vital. Please question your own thoughts. People don't make sense sometimes. Do you see states going forward with leaving the union if Hillary is elected? I wouldn't draw it. I write it out. Have I mentioned Hillary Clinton's a cunt? That's all I can say. I need to adjust and hopefully not flash my naked body to the world. Okay. Secession, again, we've tried amending the Constitution before, and that's where the South got into a lot of trouble. I'm not an expert on the Civil War. My stepdad knows a lot more than I do, and he feels very strongly against any changes to our Constitution. And he's from Texas, and proud Texan. I don't know if states should secede, I'll say that. Can they? Will they try? More power to them, if they want. Well, they can. Sean Bispoli says, no, the states cannot secede. Secede. It's different than succeed. This is what created the Civil War. Yes and no. The Civil War was about money. They can secede, and times are different. Money still talks louder than anything else. So, yeah, it'll end up in another war, I think, if someone tries to secede. Tan lines are guidelines for tongues. Mr. John Phillips, a man after my own heart. So, with Gary Johnson wanting to give this states more power, why don't more local officials endorse him? think a lot of local officials don't know about him still, unfortunately. And why don't they endorse him? Probably because they're bought by their own party. Have you read any John Stossel? I have not. I read fiction, guys, in my spare time. I like Terry Pratchett. My life is pretty busy and hectic without adding really heavy reading on top of it. I did that during my MBA and I'm sort of done for right now. Anarcho-fascism for the win. I don't even know what that fucking means, guys. Anarcho-fascism? Confession. James Harris says Confessions of Congressman X is a great book. Check it out. Sean Elliott, lizard people. Yeah. We can only see your forehead. Is that a ploy to see more of me? Because I can see more. Sarah Dyers is an ex-cop. Jesus fucking Christ, she is so sexy. Alright. If you want peace, prepare for war. Taylor Press, if you want peace, prepare for war. I agree. And that's actually my main argument against anarchism, is that you can be peaceful as much as you want. Oh, I'm messing up my hair. You can be peaceful, but that doesn't guarantee that everyone else is going to be peaceful. And protecting yourself, and both on the smaller scale and on the larger scale, locally to nationally. Nationally, that's a different subject. It's inevitable. I'll say that. It's inevitable. At some point in time, you're going to put together a collective. And maybe I'm arguing semantics here, but I believe anarchy and collective are the antithesis of each other. Am I happy with the current direction of the LP? Yeah. We have press. We have our presidential candidate on the ballot in, well, soon, hopefully all 50 states. Fuck yeah, I'm happy with the direction we're going. Now, should we calm the fuck down and let other people have their own opinions? Yeah. Let other people think for themselves. They are not any less libertarian than you or I, just because they are anarchists or minarchists or pragmatists or radicals. I'm done with the libertarian-er-than-thou nonsense. The moon is a harsh mistress, the cat who walks through walls, and more. I don't know what that refers to. I don't fear the police because I do exactly what... Ooh. Sean Vispoli says, I don't fear the police because I do exactly what they say. If you don't do exactly what they say, anything can happen up to and include an untimely death. Slippery slope. Yes. Try to do what they say, only if only for your own self protection. I heard in the headlines recently that a mute deaf man, I think, was trying to communicate with the police officers and was fatally wounded by them. It's a shame. I am sorry to hear about that, and I'm sure he was trying to do what they asked. People are not infallible. First and foremost, we have to stop the national militarization of our police forces. We have to bring them back to a local level. That's the most I can say. I'm not an expert in criminal defense. be nice to others, and unfortunately, no, it won't always work out for you. I have to move on because I'm rambling. Flash us. Heh. Oh, okay. So close. Visual. Are you aware of the North Dakota pipeline? They're building it over Native American land. I've heard that. I don't know enough about it to know if it's conspiracy versus fact. Look into it if you care about it, and fight against it if you don't like it. Ooh, I froze. I don't know if it froze for you guys, but it froze for me. Well, my phone froze, ladies and gentlemen.